Hey, Anurag.
Hey.
I was half expecting to see Nikita here already.
Maybe he's too used to being in the other time zone. I don't know. So he may be late some minutes.
Yeah. The last time he told us that, though, he beat us.
Yeah. Remember, yeah.
Let's see what we got. I'm sure, mostly sure there's nothing on the agenda. Unless I put something on the agenda or somebody put something on the... oh, I did put something on the agenda. I remember doing that. Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you so that I can try to align my thinking on equal null, assign explicitly initializing null. Do you is there like is it like a builder thing that you like, or is it when there's lots of things, other things being initialized?
Something like that.
Okay, okay. It's fine.
I
It's totally not a big deal at all. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean
was
when there's a lot of things, there's like I have seen something that should have been initialized was just forgotten. And so that's the only advantage of explicitly initializing it to know. So you know that it's not forgotten. That's opting into.
that you like thought about
But
it. Uh-huh.
yeah. I mean if there's just a couple argument fields, it's rarely that helpful. And yeah, and so in that case, I noticed the time extractors are already being set to null, and it's like, yeah, may as well just follow that pattern. It's sort of like that, especially when there's that many.
Yeah. When there's multiple, I tried to like so that when I go and I don't accidentally remove them.
Right, right. Yeah.
But when there's three of them, I saw the with the two down below, then I would be less likely to. It looks more intentional.
Yep. But either like I also don't care that much. Like even if they're deleted, I don't think it matters. So I think it's just sort of a soft preference, I guess.
Um, we're doing pretty good clearing out PRs here. Yeah, because this one is going to go in. I think you have, let's see, did Mateusz approve it yet? No, okay. So hopefully Mateusz will give it one more look today.
Okay, cache.
Caching, yeah.
Really annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think that for how often that happens,
Yeah.
that would have been fixed. Um, oh yeah, we finally merged the
Yeah.
Lori's change it so Nikita can rebase that now. Why is this? What have I not done here? Why don't we? Oh, yeah. I was. So the HTTP URL connection, if the HTTP response is 500, it throws an exception, and we catch that exception and put that exception on the client span. But none of the other HTTP client instrumentation does that. And so I'm rethinking that maybe we should just change our HTTP URL connection instrumentation not to put the exception on the client span.
Sounds okay.
Seems like just noise.
Nikita.
Good morning, Nikita. We were just looking at what good maintainers we've been here and cleaning out our PR backlog.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting one that yeah, you asked. Oops. So I removed the context propagate. You asked why should we stop the manual propagation instead? So I went and I looked at that and I realized, well, if we stop the manual propagation, there's really no point in just this, because that's just letting it propagate through anyway. So I tried just removing the instrumentation altogether, and CI passes.
Okay.
So maybe you were clearly onto something with this issue.
Yep.
So I just want to get Lori's thoughts on it. If there's any kind of weird, because the only thing I could think of, like, I actually looked at the servlet spec, and there's nothing that says that include and forward run in the same thread. But I mean, they are synchronous. So that would be really the only reason to propagate manually, is if there was some thread jumping.
Okay. Let's see what Laura says. Yep.
Yeah.
A request dispatcher sounds like something that could change thread stories. So maybe our test is just not exercising a multi-threaded dispatcher, which might exist.
Yeah, except you would think that for like an asynchronous dispatcher. Like, why would you? Well, I guess, yeah, you could send it to a pool. Yeah, you could send it to a pool and wait for that pool to return. Yep. Let's see what else. Whoa.
Oh.
What happened?
you start talking about us cleaning up our backlog and depend upon the sites too.
Slam us. All right. Okay, change log. So what you were like, this sounds to me like a breaking change, right? Like if it's worth calling out as a significant behavior change.
In the SDK, we have a header called behavior changes.
Oh.
But I mean, we don't make breaking changes, so maybe that's one reason to call it in the SDK.
Right. But that I like that though, because I mean, breaking change always freaks everybody
scary.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think the timeout is quite so freaky. Let
me see what. Yeah, I will just. Okay, cool. I will copy that. We'll make that.
Oh, but what's different between enhancement and behavioral change?
So I thought that, for example, in changing a timeout, that's something that people could be relying on, and so it's something they have to pay attention to a bit more compared to an enhancement where it's just like the name gets better or something, and usually the user doesn't have to do anything. I mean, it's not a
Span
well-defined line, I think, but in this case, I thought changing a timeout deserves extra attention.
I actually think span name deserves extra attention because that's a common like alerts and dashboards. Versus Nikita, I think like enhancement, the difference I would draw would be enhancements are like brand new things, like a new, well, I guess we already have headers for new instrumentations.
Yeah,
Have that.
I'm not sure that improvements, bug fixes, and we need behavioral changes as well.
So this would be an icy enhancement.
But yeah, like the async support, that's
Would
not
be
something people have to care about that much unless they want to use it. While behave like the thing I wanted to cap with the behavioral chain is something, give it a double check just to make sure it's okay for you.
And this.
I don't know. I don't see any benefit so far in for us to having that behavioral changes like separately, but I mean, I will not object, but when I have to create a change log sometime in the future, it will be hard for me to discern, is it an improvement or behavioral change? What's the difference?
Maybe in that case, yeah, maybe all of these changes that changed names and whatnot should be in the behavioral changes. Then it's more clear, right? Like the new async support, like that's not a change, that's something new. While the span name is changing, that's a change.
Oh, yeah, like this actually could go under new instrumentation even, these two. Or enhancements. We could adopt the enhancement, basically split out improvements into enhancements and
I don't think there is any problem with our current changelog that needs fixing. So, but if you think some other titles better represent, then okay.
I think there's some value in behavioral changes. Just at least if somebody comes later and says, hey, you broke my dashboard, we can point to that subsection and they'll know that that's the thing to look at in the future.
I got to curious. Can you show the other tab for the SDK changelog?
Yeah.
So Nikita, do you also think here this behavioral change, it doesn't really make sense to separate it out? It's sort of the same argument for this.
I don't know. Really.
It's sort of like a soft breaking change.
Yeah.
How I read it. I'm also
maybe you just wasn't brave enough to call that breaking change.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. So, I mean, technically, if we are very, very strict Semver, we're supposed to raise major version on any small change, even like that, I think. But obviously, we take some balance into account. And so these small ones we're calling behavioral changes, at least in SDK. But there are still something that could require attention by the user. Well, improvements usually they don't. So that was the difference. And so in that sense, now I'm believing that the server span names, like all these telemetry changes, we could move them into that section as well. Anything that the user could have been relying on.
Well, so far they're not stable, so they cannot rely on that anyway.
That's why we don't call them breaking changes, call them behaviors.
Okay.
But I mean, it's still nice to point it out to them so that they can at least know easily what they have to change themselves.
Cool. I'll split it out and we'll see what it looks like.
Mhm.
Is anybody in a rush to make a release today? Otherwise,
Generally, we're always targeting within a week after SDK, so anywhere until Friday sounds fine to me.
you look undecided, Nikita.
Yeah, I thought, do I want something in release? Then no, I don't.
Okay, but you don't care if we make it late because I won't. I probably won't do anything tonight. So I'll fix up the. Oh, I guess we can. The last time we didn't even wait for
Mhm.
the change log to make the
Yeah,
release.
Really is fine. It's
Cool.
only been
So I think I do care about release this week, but that's it.
Cool. I will. I'll finish this up tomorrow, and then I guess then it's just hitting the button, right? Is there any? I don't think there were any PRs that. Yeah, no PRs that we have to get in. This would be kind of cool to get in, but also fine if we don't. To be able to say we have some metrics. I wanted to, well, I have both of you. I wanted to just check that you were okay with my reasoning here of, if you remember, this was a user requesting auto instrumentation of JAX-RS custom interceptors. So I don't exactly know, but the way that I saw this was like filters. Like you can have lots of filters, servlet filters, and they're generally mostly noise. So we only capture the first one. I think this is a similar situation, and they have a good workaround of, I mean, they can add the annotation if they want.
Mhm.
And so I said that we would close it. And they just asked for some elaboration. So I kind of said that not only, I mean, for it not being default, but also as far as adding, because they were asking at least have a flag. And I don't know.
we used to have the flag for filtering.
No. Oh yeah, for filters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay with not having the flag for this with span annotations. It's reasonable.
Okay.
Like you can't add that to other people's filters. That's the only disadvantage. But do we even know if that's the use case in this issue? Or
It's not. They seemed happy about
multiple custom interceptors, right? Yeah.
that should work.
Yeah. If that makes this customer happy, that's good enough for now.
And there is the sort of the you can create spans without annotations, like codelessly. Like there's a property that you can give class method names to, and it'll generate spans. I've never used it, but Nikita, somebody from Splunk has an issue open about that.
About what exactly?
Method. About auto generating. About what is the feature? Sorry, it's see if I can navigate our docs manually. Instrumenting configuration. Okay, the way I'm going to find it is instrumentation method. It's this instrumentation. Somebody, let's see. Oh no, this was not.
I think I never ever noticed we have an instrument just called methods.
Oh, here, this is the one I was thinking of. Method instrumentation module not working. So they're trying to codelessly instrument, and yeah, I don't know. But it is a use case that comes up. So if we can support it either this way or some other way, adding spans to a filter that you can't add annotations to, should address that. Anything that on?
I guess the publishing snapshots from Mean.
Oh yeah. Where did that go? There we go. Any objection to this, Nikita?
Let me check how many pull requests do we merge every day.
Five a day. I went to the dev stats, the CNCF dev stats in the last like 6 months or 90 days or something. That's been our average.
Well, I still don't. I got the point that if our nightly build. Wait, but if nightly build fails because of latest depth, for example, and we don't publish snapshots, that's good, because that means, or not, because the previously published snapshot already is broken for the latest depth. Okay. So okay, yeah, I got the point that if nightly build fails because of latest depths, that's not a reason not to publish snapshots. So we may modify our nightly build, but I'm still not sure, do we really want to publish every snapshot on every pull request merge? So to remove latest depth from pre-requirements for snapshot publishing, that we can do.
Would also be okay. Yeah. I still feel as if it's not super wasteful to do a Mean build, especially given our traffic. It can just be easier.
I know that. I'm a big proponent of giving out snapshot builds to people for testing. And so the easier we can make that, then that seems like a good benefit to me. Because while we have somebody engaged with an issue and a PR, and we turn around the snapshot and we can say, hey, try this snapshot, and then they can give us feedback on whether it
nightly can publish that. And if you for some reason need it faster, you can manually press that nightly job as well. But my point being is, I think nightly is enough, and I don't think that publishing snapshots after every pull request merge is a reasonable usage of resources.
Are you trying to save disk space, or
I don't know. For some reason, like I don't like to be to build our, I don't know, smoke test applications on every run.
Yeah.
It's just a waste.
Remember that?
Yes, electricity waste.
Yeah, it all has a mental cost also, though, of trying to remember those things.
Yeah,
It's-
like I think the smoke test, there is really no disadvantage to our current approach. Not publishing snapshots in main, but like we find some small cognitive load issues. They're not big, of course, but it's not zero. So it might, and people do this. I mean, it's not unheard of to publish snapshots and commits. So sort of that's the idea. I can use this as motivation to migrate us to that new Sonatype instance. Let's see if that helps feel better. Yeah. Actually, like, never mind. That wasn't
So
snapshots. That was
I
the
would
release.
I wouldn't do that, but I will not object to that.
Mhm.
If you think that's
Alright.
useful, okay, go ahead.
I will approve the PR.
Yeah, I reasoned about the gRPC bridge thing a bit more, and I'm pretty sure that PR fixed the issues people are seeing. Like, we finally got a stack trace in that latest issue. And so looking at the stack trace, it looked like that should be fixed now. Even though I could never
Cool.
reproduce it locally. I don't want a G-Cloud login on my Amazon laptop.
Oh yeah, I saw that it was GCP, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna really like. Yeah, I know you sent it this nice repro, but I'm not gonna do that. I
Yeah.
thought about pinging Josh, see if
Yep.
try and get somebody from
Yeah.
Google
Let's-
involved in this repo.
Let's see. So I'm
It
gonna
looked-
like the night.
It was an identical stack trace, so
Yep.
it was the same
Okay.
line number. Yeah.
The nightly build passed. The nightly build was like actually test latest steps failed, so I assume it's our normal latest steps failures, but it was actually just flaky. I think that was weird. This
Today
one's a
nightly-
different. This one's Nikita's YAML is broken. I think. I don't know if you noticed, Nikita.
No, what YAML?
The no cache thing is just syntax failure.
Oh, I see. I'm like, why is this nightly build number 1 and this is nightly build number 453? Maybe we need a different name for your
We also
new
need
job.
a different name. Yeah.
Yeah, name is a good point. Yeah, that I totally forgot.
Yeah, so looks like the nightly build passed when I rerun it. So that was surprising.
Gotcha.
There was some like that only happened in test data steps. I've never seen that before.
Okay, I will review that.
Could have
yeah.
been if it was like a library was mid publishing to Sonatype.
Maybe it wasn't a Gradle error; it was a test error. So
Oh, okay. It was a real.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But the weird, like, so yesterday's nightly build failed, so I tried running the test locally and it succeeded. So I thought it's probably a flake, so I hit the rerun button. While hitting the rerun button, the scheduled run failed again with a different test failure that also didn't reproduce locally. And then my manual rerun passed. So out of the 3 previous runs, 2 of them flakily failed on test latest steps for some reason. So, a bit surprising, but maybe just
It's not
Murphy's law
surprising.
with all our projects. Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to write some notes. Change log.
There's, I guess, the compromise on the snapshots where we only publish the agent from the main build and use the nightly build to publish everything. Does that sound like a worthwhile thing to do? Sort of.
If it's easy.
Yeah.
Say again.
Mhm. So we could, if we publish snapshots in the main build, one way to reduce the wastage or whatever is to only publish the agent, because that's more important. As you like for library instrumentation, you use Jetpack anyways, so it's more just having a convenient way to download the snapshot agent. That's the bigger issue. So that's one way to keep the cost down.
Hmm. I don't know. That may increase our cognitive load.
Okay. Okay.
Too complicated.
Just putting it out there. Yeah.
Just trying to figure out where your line of save the trees is, Nikita. It's a good thing. Was there anything else I was
So I hope to rebase my extension pull request today. At the end, Lowry change and my change are different. I mean, Lowry multi-jar support still uses. Oh no, he does. You use URL handler as well now. Yeah, so I will rebase my pull request today, and after that I will start very aggressively pushing you. Let's review that and merge and start trying that and move forward.
awesome.
We have a client who is eagerly awaiting that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm eager also. It's a good change. Extensions much easier, I think.
Yeah, and we get a lot of questions.
Mhm.
There's on Slack and elsewhere, people are very interested in being able to add their samplers and their span processors to the agent.
Yep.
Oh yeah, HTTP. So this was what we were just chatting about when you joined, Nikita, the HTTP URL connection. The client span, if it gets back a 500, it throws an exception, and so we put that exception on the client span. But this is the only HTTP client instrumentation, only HTTP client that throws an exception, right? Most just give you back the status code and you check it. And so instead of contorting the tests to work around this difference, I'm going to change the instrumentation not to log that span, not to log the exception on the span.
Did you notice now that you're logged in, you're getting those AI notifications?
Oh yes.
It's
So
on
do
the
you
right
see my-
side. Like, so you have to, it suggests whether you want to assign an AI. That's only shown to you. And then if you do, then it shows up.
Oh, I see. So that's why this one.
This one I hit the assign button.
It's so fancy. Love it. All right. Oh yeah, this one was comment from Laurie. Anything else?
Not from me today.
All right. Well, let's call it early then.
Yeah, I was
Cool.
hoping maybe John would be here to talk a bit about the Nullaway stuff, but probably talk next meeting then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to. Yeah, that would be cool to bring that in to our repo. I mean, I know you brought it
Yeah.
into the one
Yeah.
module.
Yeah, I mean, our tooling is set up. And we
Okay.
just
Is
don't
this
want it.
just about the API breakage or the actual tooling in the SDK, the Nullaway tooling?
So I added the tooling and also found some things while working on it. Wanted to share.
Oh,
In-
I see.
in
You
particular-
added enforcement of that.
Yeah, exactly. Just yesterday.
Do we have
Technical-
enforcement on any of our modules?
Yeah, a couple of like Armoria has it and another modular too. Like some of the library instrumentations I've written, like I added. I think usually if I copy paste the build file from one that has it, then it has it. If I copy paste from a file that doesn't have it, it doesn't have it. Yeah. Someday we should add it all of them. I mean, I want to get rid of spot bugs and if we're ever error prone. Does everyone else hate spot bugs like I do? Or is it just me? Or like
Spot bugs doesn't. I never see spot bugs fail.
no, your
Is it
code is
doing
always perfect. I mean, I don't see it failed that much. Sometimes it does something.
I get
And
I
it-
get spotless, of course,
Yeah,
kills me, and then
spot
code
bugs
dark.
occasionally. Yeah,
Code
code
dark
dark.
kills me too because I
Yeah.
leave semicolons in Groovy constantly.
Yeah. Both code narc and spot bugs have the same problem that they don't print out the error on the console, which I hate.
Oh yeah, you have to open the HTML file.
Yeah.
No, I mean like it's been a while since spot bugs.
I guess we're all. I mean, I don't get it that often. Sometimes I lose something, but obviously we're good coders.
Yeah.
Like that. If you saw that 3 lines in my weird thing in that PR in the OKH.
Oh, the byte,
That-
the
I think that was
the two the byte array of length 2.
like to verify the. Maybe it wasn't that one, but like I tried introducing a spot bugs failure and it was something like that, and yeah,
Oh, okay.
so I can get it to fail if I try.
Well, that's the real skill. All right, y'all.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
See you
Yeah.
in a couple days.